welcome. I'm Soumya from Euroschool North Campus, Bangalore. We are super excited to go live with our first ever Lit Fest Bell Lab version 2. I welcome you all to a plethora of literary excellence. We are extremely overwhelmed with the number of registrations. We have many schools participating from across the country. So these 2 days, ladies and gentlemen, will be a galore of poetry, drama, dance, essays, author talk, etc. So please join us on this extravaganza. Once again, on behalf of Euroschool North Campus, I welcome everyone to these 2 days of jollification with literature. We would like to thank our sponsors Edcart, Scholastic, and Bars and Beats Music Studio. The overwhelming feeling of loyalty and faith sums up the word school anthem. The essence of the school anthem is to rouse the spirits of the children and uplift their souls. It enthuses them with pride for being a part of an institution which makes them hold their heads high. Let's begin with the Euroschool anthem. I request everyone to please rise for the school anthem.
Let our hearts unite, let our minds be free to discover ourselves and what we wish to be. With our own hands, we shape our destiny. Salute our roots as we turn a new page to become the angels of this great new age. The future is wonderful, we shall rise and see. With our own hands, we shall respond to human need, for a world without borders. We vow to plant a seed, to nurture it with love and watch it become a tree. With our own hands, we shape our destiny. With the lessons of life, we fill our daily cup. Let the tough times teach us not ever to give up. Let wisdom be the wings that will set us free. Together at Euroschool, we shape our destiny.
Thank you. I request everyone to please be seated. Each day brings new opportunities, allowing you to constantly live with love, be there for others, bring a little light into someone's day. We will now begin the inaugural ceremony with the traditional lamp lighting.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिः परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापम् सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तु ते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः
True leadership lies in guiding others to success, in ensuring that everyone is performing at their best. I request our dear principal, Dr. Vandana Gupta, a seasoned scholar and navigator of this flagship of knowledge, to please welcome and introduce the dignitaries and other distinguished guests.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, colleagues, and dear teachers. The commencement of any joyous and blissful gathering has always been an unforeseen deluge of umpteen thoughts, hopes, and excitement racing through one's mind. On one hand, you're bestowed with a pool of aesthetic resources, while on the other, you have this illusory restlessness of making it grandeur of perfection. At this juncture of the new normal, when the virtual ambience has taken a giant flight, we at Euroschool North Campus are pleasingly putting forth our E-Lit Fest of the year, Bell version 2.0. I hope you will enjoy it as much as we enjoyed building it up for you. This literary festival for non-fiction and fiction and all other art forms is an overarching event where novelists, poets, journalists, theatre artists, dancers, singers, movie makers, and critics come together to discuss the role of literature in today's world. It is a festival for specific topics with a very broad appeal. It is a festival for literature, which writes itself into the core of what it means to be human. From storytelling to drama to movie buff, the art is just growing as technology changes. And this is also reflected through the varied competitions covered in this fest. None of us here would have envisaged in our wildest of dreams that we could bring so many institutions, renowned people, students, and teachers on one platform as we have close to 500 students participating from across India today. So on the outset of this extravaganza, let me begin by first extending a very warm welcome to our group CEO and co-founder Eurokids International Limited, the most sought after leader in the country today, changing Indian education, the very dynamic Mr. Prajot Rajan. K-12 CEO, Mr. Rahul Deshpande, a most progressive and visionary leader, is also present amidst us today. We welcome you, sir. And head operations, the very versatile and enterprising Ms. Kavita Chopra is also in the same frame this morning for this magnificent event. Your presence has indeed lit up the atmosphere to the limits unknown. Present with us is also a plethora of elite and accomplished professionals to the likes of very dynamic Ms. Shweta Sharan, the founder and admin of Bangalore Schools, a Facebook group that has 48,000 members. She is an education journalist, digital marketer, gig worker, writer, and also works with Tokabox, a Seattle-based South Asian organization. We welcome you, Shweta. Mr. Rupesh Tillu is also present amongst us, who's an actor, director, and independent filmmaker. He holds MFA in physical comedy from the National School of Dramatic Arts, Sweden. Apart from acting in theatre and films, Rupesh has also written, directed, and produced a short film titled Evolution in 2017. Mr. Tillu has won several international awards and recognitions, including Outstanding Artist Act, Stockholm Fringe Festival 2012, a Special Jury Award, Best of Prague Fringe Festival 2013, amongst the others. We welcome you once again, Mr. Tillu. Moving on to Ms. Santrupti now. Santrupti Rajankar is a senior assistant editor with the Times NIE. After short stints in advertising and a couple of NGOs, she's joined the Times of India, Bangalore in 1993, where she has worked in the editorial department in various capacities in Bangalore and Hyderabad. She has written a number of articles and columns on various topics for the paper, apart from handling editions. For the past 12 years, she has been handling the editorial team of the NIE student edition in Bangalore. We welcome you, Trupti. We also have with us Ms. Monisha Tejani. She has completed over 15 years of experience in the education industry and shares a passion and expertise in school management practices, leadership, teacher training, and EdTech integrations with an impetus to improve student outcomes. Currently, heads the school development team at KKEL and also serves as a board of director of Aga Khan Education Services India since last 10 years. Welcome to the LitFest, Monisha. I would now like to introduce three of my childhood friends from my boarding days. Anupam Srivastav, who's my classmate. Anupam Srivastav started his career as a journalist with the Times of India, then worked with UNICEF and other development agencies as a communication professional. He currently consults with the Center of Advocacy and Research in the field of communication and has also authored novels like The Brown Sahibs, A Post-Colonial Transition of India, and A Family Secret, a children's novel. Very soon he'll be joining NDTV in Bhubaneswar. We welcome you, Anupa. Mahendra Thakur, his first novel, The Butcher of Benares, was published by Westland Publications. It was rated as the best crime fiction debut novel of the year and was the Amazon Rising Star. His second novel, The Swastika Killer, was published by Westland Publications, and his third novel, Chakra Warriors, was recently released. He's also developing a web series for Madhur Bhandarkar. He wrote the script of the renowned feature film Manji, The Mountain Man, directed by Ketan Mehta, starring Nawazuddin Siddiqui and Radhika Apte. He also has written Himanshu Dhulia's Shagird and has co-written the script for Hindi feature film Chanda Mama Dur Ke, to be directed by Sanjay Puran Singh Chauhan. It's India's first epic space adventure film about India's most daring mission to the moon. Apart from this, he has written scripts for various TV shows, CID, Manu Yana Manu, Bidai, Bethiya, Sita aur Geeta, and Dwarkadish. It's an honor to have you amidst us, Mahendra Thakur. Padamjeet Shehrawat, who we very fondly call Paddy right from childhood, is a singer, composer, and performer. A number of honors find solace with him. The zeal of a sports commentator, the soul of a singer, the refined diction of an orator, all get encompassed comfortably inside the broad-shouldered frame of a multifaceted persona. His motivational musical is making waves and is one of its kind concept that stitches words and music beautifully. He is India's top bilingual commentator and anchor, and you have seen his work on Star Sports, Sony 6, Sony 10, ESPN, Times Now, Mirror Now, etc. Having given his voice and presence to IPL, ICL, Pro Kabaddi, Wimbledon, BCCI, NBA, Olympics, Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, Harry is a brand. Last but not the least, my greetings to the principals of Euro schools and Billabong High Schools, our students and parents who have connected to us on Facebook this morning as the event is being relayed live. So sit back, ladies and gentlemen, and do take the delight in every piece of work presented to you, quoted with love and exuberance. Thus, without unveiling the mystery which is in store for you, I wish each one of you all the very best. I hope this two-day extravaganza remains a precious time in all our lives. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, and I will now request Soumya to take the program forward.
Thank you so much, Vandana. Reminders of happy memories can bring back pleasant feelings tied to the original experience, suggesting an intrinsic value in reminiscing about the positive past. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's a glimpse of Bell 2019 version 1, a blast from the past. That was a glimpse of last year's Bell Let. In case you're wondering what is in store for these 2 days, here's a glimpse. Coming up now is Pecha Kucha, which is Japanese for chit chat or chatter. It is a 20 slider used for storytelling mostly. So, what Dr. Gupta did not unveil in her address will be unveiled now. She will now give you a tour of Bell Let version 2 with an engaging, authentic, and articulate narration of everything that's in store for today and tomorrow.
Literature is one of the most interesting and significant expressions of humanity. Snippets of the charming scenario we are going to envisage, the little peekaboo of our colossal display and droplets of dedication dripping from different angles. That's the Pecha Kucha for you. Mind you, it plays a great role in keeping you on the tenterhooks. Jubilance, exuberance, zest, and incandescence put together in a glamorous frame of literature. That's what our LitFest is all about. Come, let us take you through this enchanting odyssey comprising of unique masterpieces put together. We assure you, it'll be like a bottle full of elixir, kindling you up to embark a splendorous extravaganza. Come, let's dive into the ocean of pristine literary gems. We earnestly hope you relish every bit of finesse displayed and take back with you a galore of memories to cherish for a lifetime. When you embark an enormously sought after event with a big bang, all you see is glitters of eagerness sparkling away to glory. To do the honors, we are incredibly fortunate to have with us none other than our very own co-founder Mr. Prajod Rajan and CEO Mr. Rahul Deshpande. Together, let's add some charisma to the event as we take our first step. Art is not what you see, but what you make others see. Get ready to take a plunge into the canvas of captivating colors as our children will put forth their stupendous work made with all the love and seasoned with the spice of expressions. We are sure you will witness a spectacle of joy. To elevate the undying ebullience in our children, we have had the privilege to invite famous authors, language experts, and theatre artists who have obliged to give us their valuable time. When the experts add infinite subtlety of their forte to light up the ambience, it makes an event all the more exhilarating. We have thus invited the specialists of their fields to impart ideologies and knowledge to our children with a detailed tete-a-tete flavored with awe-inspiring concepts. Every secret of a writer's soul, every experience of his life, every quality of his mind is written large in his works. Our special guest is not only a versatile writer, but has also been a well-known journalist earlier in his career. We are not only privileged, but also elated to have Mr. Anupam Srivastav as a speaker on this wonderful platform. One of the finest script writers and authors our country has ever produced is going to honor us with his presence. In fact, his books and scripts have been transformed into award-winning movies. What more, he isn't only a writer, but has been a promising journalist and a vibrant public speaker. Look forward to Mr. Mahendra Jakhar, the amazing storyteller. Isn't music a prayer for the soul? Keep your mind swarming with those guesses as the speaker will share with you his musical experience along with his mind-blowing and anchoring skills. His amicable nature along with his remarkable spectacle of ebullience is surely going to be an icing on the cake. Look forward to getting mesmerized in the soulful and sonorous voice of Mr. Padamjit Sherawat. India has always been an epitome of diversified culture. But have we set the right bar in education and universities? Are we still hanging on with the age-old customs and bizarre cliches? We will be meeting our diversified speakers, Mr. Kannan Hariharan, who will show us how to demystify diversity in his very own way, and Ms. Shweta Sharan, who will share with us the current digitalized scenario of diversified education for years to come. When theatre and dance go hand in hand, it reminds us of a serene yet tantalizing sight of a sunset on a beachside. We have with us Mr. Rupesh Tillu, who's known for bringing life into any character, and Mr. Janardhan, who can express anything through dance movements. Sit back and wait for this duo to rock the show. Nothing can beat books when it comes to entertainment, along with an extra benefit of gaining unforeseen knowledge and wisdom. Immerse into the genres, plots, characters, and settings of a wide range of books with our speakers. Is it the style of writing that keeps the readers hooked, or the storyline? Sit back and wait for it. Our cute blooming buds, all set for a fancy dress, with a huge twist though. Just imagine our little poets rendering their verses with all the pure expressions, and our storytellers to engross you in their tale of joy and woe. Someone rightly said, life is an act, as our children are about to enact their emotions shown by the wheel. O Shakespeare, where art thou? Here I am, all ready for the show. Be it our brilliant dancers who are just waiting to set the stage on fire with their eloquent dance styles, or be it our movie lovers who are prompt at answering anything related to the movie world, or be it those technical honchos who can make anything come alive on the computer. We are having it all. Our budding authors are here to portray their pool of exquisite writing skills. Watch them weave magic with words and take you to a surreal world of deep imagination as they pen down their best. Come, let's celebrate in our French version of the event. We have singing as well as dress up and tell to keep you mesmerized and create an enthralling fiesta. Let us take you to a fascinating tour to the country of France. Let's peek into every nook and corner, sit by the libraries, and take a bite at the eat-outs. The beauty of the country lies in every aspect of this tour, so do join us. Each one of us here, being a teacher, a guru, take immense pride in elevating ourselves to evolve into a tech guru. Let's witness the process together as the teachers present to us their transformation and what did it take to reach there. Delve into the wonderful process of walking that extra mile to conquer the zenith. Music is life. That's why our heart has beats. The catchy music that urges you to tap your feet. The beats that make your body jive to the tune and move along with it. Blessed are the ones with a sonorous voice, backed up with apt intonation and unbeatable throw. We have with us the man behind those peppy beats. They are totally ready to get you moving. Let's travel to one together and stay there for a while as Mr. Nikhil Gupta is all set to take us there. Join this platform where genuine hard work yields sweet fruits. The much awaited culmination will surely serve as a treat to all the efforts taken. We will have with us renowned leaders along with speakers to do the honors. Watch with us who grabs the prizes.
Wow, Dr. Gupta just took us into the world of ballet with that articulate narration. Thank you so much, ma'am. The true mark of a leader is the willingness to stick with a bold course of action and a conventional business strategy, a unique product development roadmap, even as the rest of the world wonders why you're not marching in step with the status quo. Ladies and gentlemen, our group CEO and co-founder, Mr. Prajot Rajan, will now present the inaugural address for the event launch. Much awaited moment, the launch of our first ever Elite Fest Bellet version 2. Sir, may I please request you to address?
Hi, this is Rahul. Unfortunately, Prajot had a time constraint and he had to leave at 10 o'clock. But why don't we carry on with the rest of the program?
Sure, sir.
Okay, sure, no problem. Thank you so much. Music is the universal language of mankind. Where words fail, music speaks. Music is the language of the spirit. So we now have a beautiful song by Ria Xavier of grade 10.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my ancient love, and you're slow to anger. Your name is great, and your heart is kind. For all your goodness, I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I worship Your holy name. And on that day, when my strength is failing, the end draws near, and my time has come. Still, my soul will sing Your praise unending. 10,000 years and then forevermore. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I worship Your holy name. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I worship Your holy name. Yes, I worship Your holy name. Lord, I worship Your holy name.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Ria, for that mellifluous rendition. It was truly heartwarming. What a way to start a beautiful day. It did get all of us swaying a little bit.
I'm sorry to intervene, Soumya. Mr. Rahul has an important meeting to attend and he has a time constraint. We will now request our K-12 CEO, Mr. Rahul Deshpande, to please launch this event. It is very unfortunate. Mr. Prajod also had time constraint and he could not do the needful. So we'll request you to take this forward, sir, and please launch the LitFest. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Rahul Deshpande for you.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Great. Welcome students, teachers, parents, and authors to this literary festival organized by Euroschool North Campus. And thank you, Dr. Vandana, for organizing this festival and for inviting me to deliver the keynote address. When you invited me to deliver the keynote, I started thinking about what I should speak about among all of these accomplished authors, as well as all of our principals. And then it came to me that maybe I should tell a story about why mankind has come to dominate the earth and the role language, storytelling, and books have played in that journey. So here's my attempt to convince you that language as well as reading and writing are pillars on which human society is built. It all started with a big bang 13.7 billion years ago when the universe was formed. Now don't worry, I will move fast through my story and finish in 10 minutes, so don't log off yet. Fast forward to 250,000 years ago when early primates evolved into the first humans. Initially, these prehistoric humans used to communicate with grunts and gestures, much like primates we evolved from. But about 50,000 years ago, we started developing more sophisticated forms of communication. we started developing language. And that enabled us to cooperate in ever larger groups. It enabled us to start telling stories. And as Dr. Yuval Noah Harari says in his book Sapiens, it allowed us to cooperate flexibly and in large numbers. As he also says, if you pit any human being against a chimpanzee, he will easily dominate us. But if you pit 1,000 humans against 1,000 chimpanzees, my bet is that humans will find a way to cooperate and dominate chimpanzees. And that's the role that language plays. In the last 50,000 years, that is exactly what has happened. With the invention of language and later on written scripts, humans have built ever more complex stories around objective realities. And through these, learn to cooperate with each other across geographies, across time. I mean, this is just an example, right? I'm sitting here in Mumbai talking to students and so many of you across so many geographies, Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, I don't know where else. I've also learned about what I know about the subject from books I've read, which have accumulated knowledge passed down from generations. So stories have the ability to travel over geographies and across time. Animals can't do that. No other species can. And they can at most communicate objective realities, like there's a predator in the bush, so we should all run. But they can't tell each other the story of humankind, or explain Newton's laws of motion, or Kant's idea of morality and the idea of the categorical imperative. Only humans can do that. And that is why humans are the predominant species on Earth. And if you believe the story I just told you, then I think each of you will understand the power of language and of reading and writing and invest a significant portion of your time in these pursuits. I fervently hope that you do so and inculcate the habit of learning and discussing ideas. It is, after all, the reason that humans have come to dominate this planet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rahul Deshpande. I'm sorry for the keynote address. Thank you very much for joining us and for your address. Thank you. Dance communicates in a way that no other art form can. Dancing is the loftiest, the most moving, the most beautiful of the arts because it is not mere translation or abstraction from life, it is life itself. We now have a lovely invocation dance by one of our esteemed parents, Mr. Janardhan Raj Aris, who is a highly promising and a versatile dancer with intensive training in Kathak under Guru Dr. Maya Rao for more than a decade, Indian contemporary dance under Guru Srimati Madhuna. He is the director of Cornucopia, and today he is presenting a piece on Samagam. This means coming together. This sequence has been specifically choreographed by him for Euroschool North Campus on this occasion of our eLit Fest. And this is all about literature, drama, dance, storytelling, etc. Similarly, Samagam brings Swara, Tala, Raga, Pallavi with vibrant dance from Kathak and contemporary to create this visual spectacle. Ladies and gentlemen, Samagam.
Ding da ding 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 do ding ding da 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 dee da dee da dee gu gu da gu gu da ding da ding 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 do ding ding dee da dee 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 da 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 take it take it take it take it da 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 da.
jam tari da jam ta ga ga sari sa ga ta jam tari da jam ta.
Ta didaka takitaki takita dikita takita takadina gina takita dikita takitaki takita dikita takita takadina gina takita dikita dina takita takadina takita takita dikita takita takadina takadina dina takita takadina takita takita dikita takita takadina takadina dina takita takadina takita takita dikita takita dikita takita 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 dina takita takadina takita takita dikita takita dikita takita 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 dina
Incredible.
Thank you so much, Mr. Janardhan Raj Ares. That was an absolutely incredible and a spectacular performance. Truly
Your
Truly
voice,
spellbinding.
your voice was breaking, Soumya. I would definitely like to announce that Mr. Janardhan is our parent. So we're very proud to have him associated with Euroschool.
Thank you, Vandana ma'am. I hope it's clear.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being such a lovely audience. And change is only the constant. And it's fantastic that we have not given up. And we are finding new ways to communicate and reach through literature, song, music, and dance. I would like to congratulate everyone on this fantastic e-list. Thank you, Vandana Mama. Thank you, Rahul Bhai, and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Janardhan, for such a lovely and enthralling performance. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. He was the only person making his way into the city. He met hundreds and hundreds who were fleeing, and every one of them seemed to be hurt in some way. The eyebrows of some were burnt off, and skin hung from their face and hands. Others, because of pain, held their arms up. Some were vomiting as they were walked. Many were naked or in shreds of clothing. Some undressed bodies, the burnt and battered. Many, although injured themselves, supported their relatives who were worse off. Almost all had their heads bowed, looked straight ahead, and were silent, showed no expression whatsoever. A schoolgirl at Hiroshima asked those scientists who invented the atomic bomb, what did they think would happen if they dropped it? The legacy of nuclear testing is nothing but destruction. On account of International Day Against Nuclear Tests, which is tomorrow, the 29th of August, here's a surprise from our guest school.
The morning stretched calm, beautiful, and warm. Sprawling half-clad, I gazed out at the form of shimmering leaves and shadows. Suddenly, a strong flash, then another, startled me. I saw the old stone lantern brightly lit. Magnesium flares? While I debated it, the roof, the walls, and as it seemed the world collapsed in timber and debris. Dust swirled around me. In the garden now, and weird, my drawers and undershirt disappeared. A splinter jutted from my mangled thigh. My right side bled. My cheek was torn, and I dislodged detachedly a piece of glass, all the time wondering what had come to pass. Where was my wife? Alarmed, I gave a shout. Where are you, Yoko-san? My blood gushed out. The artery in my neck? Scared for my life, I called out panic-stricken to my wife. Pale, blood-stained and frightened, Yoko-san emerged, holding her elbow. We'll be fine, I urged. Let's get out quickly. Stumbling to the street, we fell, tripped by something at our feet. I gasped out when I saw it was a head. Excuse me, please excuse me. He was dead. A gate had crushed him. There he stood, afraid. A house standing before us tilted, swayed, toppled, and crashed. Fire sprang up in the dust, spread by the wind. It dawned on us we must get to the hospital. We needed aid, and I should help my staff too. Though this made sense to me then, I wonder how I could. My legs gave way. I sat on the ground. Thirst seized me, but no water could be found. My breath was short, but bit by bit my strength seemed to revive. I got up at length. I was still naked, but I felt no shame. This thought disturbed me somewhat, till I came upon a soldier standing silently, who gave the towel around his neck to me. My legs, stiff with dried blood, rebelled. I said to Yoko-san, she must go on ahead. She did not wish to, but in our distress, what choice had we? A dreadful loneliness came over me when she had gone. My mind ran at high speed, my body crept behind. I saw the shadowy forms of people. Some said, "We're ghosts," some scarecrows, all were wordless dumb. Arms stretched straight out, shoulder to dangling hand. It took some time for me to understand the friction on their burns caused so much pain. They feared to chafe flesh against flesh again. Those who could shuffled in a blank parade towards the hospital. I saw, dismayed, a woman with a child stand in my path, both naked. Had they come from the bath? I turned my gaze but was at a loss that she should stand thus, till I came across a naked man. And now the thought arose that some strange thing had stripped us of our clothes. The face of an old woman on the ground was marred with suffering, but she made no sound. The silence was common to us all. I heard no cries of anguish or a single word.
Brilliant anti-war poem by Vikram Seth describes the horrors and the devastating consequences of an atomic bomb explosion. This horrible act is only demonstrative of humans' inhumanity towards his fellow men. Kudos to Euroschool Airoli for this poignant portrayal of the effects of war. Through their incredible artwork, each piece of artwork by the students spoke for itself. Art is an expression of emotion and feeling deep within one's heart. However, a technique is no good until admirers can actually see it. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's a virtual tour of the Euroschool North Campus Art Gallery, the Slick Art Fair. May I request Ms. Lakshmi Priya to please take us through the Slick Art Gallery.
Thank you, Soumya. Art is an expression of an idea, an emotion, or a thought that lets us see the world through an artist's eye. It is a component of culture reflecting economic and social substrates in its design. It can be in the form of visual or performing art. Ladies and gentlemen, in this virtual tour of the Slick Art Gallery, we will showcase the masterpieces made by our young, talented minds. The gallery has been divided into two sections. The first section contains the replicas of famous paintings made by our students. And I'm sure you will not be able to make out which one is real and which one is a replica. The second part contains the posters made again by our students on the theme Save Water, based on one of the Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations. The first painting displayed here is by the famous artist Leonardo da Vinci. He is well known for his work Mona Lisa and the sculpture statue of David. The budding artists of Euroschool North Campus have recreated the works of the eminent artists of different eras and have added their own special touch to it. This painting is by Sandro Botticelli, who has painted a wide range of religious subjects and also some portraits. Sandro Botticelli was an Italian painter of the early Renaissance era. He contributed to the frescoes. a style of painting where painting was done rapidly in watercolor on wet plaster on a wall or ceiling so that the colors penetrate the plaster and become fixed as it dried. While the Renaissance focused on realism, sometimes called naturalism, a form of art which is the attempt to represent subject matter truthfully without artificiality and avoiding speculative fiction and supernatural elements. This is a famous painting of the melting clock by the artist Salvador Dali. The famous melting clocks represent the omnipresence of time and identify its mastery over human beings. It is said that his inspiration for the soft watch came from the surreal way that Dali saw a piece of runny camembert cheese melting in the sun. These symbols represent a metaphysical image of time devouring itself and everything else. This is a painting by Vincent van Gogh. Sunflowers is the name of the two series of still life paintings by the Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh. The paintings show sunflowers in all stages of life, from full bloom to withering. I'm sure you cannot make out which is the real painting and which is a replica. Our students are blessed. Here you see the famous painting of Gemini Roy, who has created several paintings with what he called his flat technique. Roy said that, like Chinese landscapes, he wanted to discard non-essential background details. The subjects were mostly Santal women. The Santal are a tribal community indigenous to India. Can you guess the replica from these? I'm sure you cannot. Now we move on to the posters that have been made by our students on one of the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals of Save Water. Water is a precious gift on earth. Life on earth is greatly dependent on water. In order to make us aware of the scarcity, importance, and the need to conserve water, the students of Euroschool North Campus have created posters depicting water-saving methods such as rainwater harvesting and many others, and showing us what the world would be without it. The names of the artists have been displayed under their respective paintings. Save water, save life. Art and literature are the way to find ourselves and lose ourselves in the world of bliss. Both are in a way interconnected. I find it true whenever I go to the library to find a book. They say, never judge a book by its cover, but I can't help myself and choose a book with a colorful cover translating the writer's world of words to an artist's world of colors. Kudos to the team of teachers who worked behind this beautiful creation of the Slick Art Gallery. Dr. Ranjita Rao, our art teacher, Ms. Srividya VM, and Ms. Deepa Radhakrishnan, the coordinator of middle school. Kudos to the entire team. I'm sure all of you enjoyed the virtual gallery. Thank you. Over to Soumya.
Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. May I now request Ms. Anuba Kinney, our Chief Officer, Human Resources, to please present the inaugural address for the Slick Art Fair. Ms. Anuba Kinney herself is very artistic and has an excellent sense of aesthetics. Anuba ma'am, over to you.
Thank you for those kind words. I'm sure Vandana is more creative than me. It's just I have too much of an art gallery in my room, and I think that's what makes her understand that. Uh, However, I'd like to start with a very good morning to everyone, uh, dear students, parents, the esteemed panel of experts, and the invitees. I think it's a privilege to be at the eLit Fest and, of course, the Slick Art Fair. Innovative as it sounds, to be at the North Campus, this event is the amalgamation of, I think, creativity and the innovative thinking of the staff, the students, and the principal at the Euroschool North Campus. What have we? We have art, we have music, we have dance, we have literature. Can one really want more? I'm sure Shakespeare would be jealous today. I'm indeed delighted, and I congratulate all that have come together to put this beautiful event together. The event has put forward all the critical skills that we keep talking about for the 21st century that we need to develop and hone for all of us, I would say, and definitely the generations to come. Creativity, of course, is going to be the greatest differentiator for success in the future. The different art forms will not only delight and enlighten everyone today, but also they will charge the mind to apply itself innovatively in the different aspects of life. As they say, life skills that will need grooming and encouragement to grow and develop. The event today presents a great opportunity to experience all the art forms, culture, and above all, an opportunity to showcase the hidden creative talent of our young friends across. I'm happy to be here to see so many young minds wanting to participate and so much to show. I think the Slick Art Fair was really, really eye-opening. I'm sure Van Gogh would be really threatened right now to see the kind of replicas we saw, and so would Botticelli be really shaking. I'd just like to close by saying confident, creative, and really communicative. These are the three pillars of the eLit Fest, I think, over the next 2 days. I'd once again like to say a big thank you to everyone on this program, and thank you for thinking of us to be part of this entire program today. All the very, very best to everyone who's joining in, and may the best guys win. I would say thank you, and kudos to all the young friends who are logged in today. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Vandana and team.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anuba ma'am. Thank you for taking out the time to join us, and thank you so much for those lovely words. May I now request Ms. Kavita Chopra, our operations head, who is a very enterprising woman and a supportive leader, to please address the audience.
Thank you, Vandana. Thank you, parents. Thank you, students. And thank you, my dear North Campus teachers. I'm all excited for this two-day event. Looking forward to see each one of you performing the various art forms, and a very good morning to each one of you once again. I'm delighted to join you all at the inaugural Lit Festival, and I'm all here to inaugurate the Slick Art Fair. Art reflects what a child knows about the world and enables the child to choose how to translate those ideas and experiences. As we all know, art is important because it allows children to be creative, and I know our Euroschool children are creative. The various art forms highlight the richness of various cultures. Fests like this, which we have conducted at Euroschool North Campus, will give us great opportunities to students to showcase their inborn talent. The art fair is entirely the efforts of our Euroschool students, and they are not experts, but are rather at the learning stage. I'm so proud of you all Euroschool students. The best part is that they have used thoughts in their minds and are wandering mind as well, which is really well channelized by our teachers and by our principle. With these words, I would like to inaugurate the Slick Art Fair. All the best, Neuro School North Campus, Vandana, and my teachers and my students. Looking forward for the great two-day event. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kavita Chopra, for the inaugural address of the Slick Art Fair. Thank you very much. We have a very special guest amidst us, Ms. Santrupti, Senior Assistant Editor of Times and I. May I request you to please say a few words?
Good morning, and thank you, Dr. Vandana, and everybody here at North School, Euro School North Campus. It's a great pleasure being here today, this morning, at this very interesting event amidst so many accomplished personalities. You know, a lit fest on the virtual platform is indeed a very novel experience, and it's great being here today. So, you know, in Luca and the Fire of Life, Rushdie has someone ask the hero, what makes humans humans? It isn't the ability to count, surely, because dolphins are actually better at math. It isn't the ability to make tools because, you know, we all know chimpanzees too have done that. So what really sets us apart is that we are storytelling animals. Like Mr. Deshpande said earlier this morning, we make and understand the narrative. And that is what, you know, really makes a difference. From the earliest days of the Neolithic, people used to use stories to survive, to tell their children what to eat, how to gather, where to hunt. To tell stories was basically to live. And when we came up with the written word, we could take these stories and pass them on better to wider groups of people. And all through history, our fundamental truth has not changed. The truth that stories, and of course by extension the act of reading, have helped us understand our world, have been the tools through which we have changed our lives. In these very difficult times, you know, when the pandemic has sent us indoors and made us fear for our lives, I find that we are forced more than ever before to take literature seriously. We confront the inner landscapes of our minds through the books we read, regardless of whether we are, you know, rereading old favorites or venturing out, as Aldous Huxley would say, into a brave new world. So basically, books are the tools that allow us to make sense of our reality. They determine the way we see the world. That is why ultimately it is important to read, and especially now to read, you know, more so because we are stuck at home and communication is the key. Our bedside tomes, whether it is fiction, non-fiction, the great classics, or the paperbacks, have all become our handy tools today. And let us figure out now how best to use them. Over the next 2 days, I think you are, all of us are going to be treated to the best of these tools through, like Ms. Vandana mentioned earlier, the storytelling, music, drama, theater, dance, and so much more. And all of it is encompassed in that one, you know, concept of communication. So wishing you all a very, very fulfilling time ahead. And thank you for having me here again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Ms. for joining us today. We will now end with a vote of
Soumya, sorry for intervening. Before you, before you end the show, I'll just not let this opportunity slip through my hands because we have somebody very, very versatile present amidst us. So before we propose the vote of thanks, I will quickly request Paddy, who's a junior from my boarding school, to say a few words and quickly sing something for us, something relevant for us to set the tone for the next 2 days. Paddy, please, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, and good morning, everyone. And ma'am, I'll just like to start with an incident, and then I'll move on. Whenever my best friend in school would come to me, and if I was reading a book, I would say, "Whenever my book is open, your mouth should be shut." So that is the importance that you teachers are saying, and our teachers always gave us, feeded us with all that information. That books are so important in our lives. Books are the train and the plane and the road. They are the destination, the journey, and the home. An individual who is ordinary will have probably is going to have a huge television set. An extraordinary human being is going to have a huge library. So when social media came to us, social media said, "Okay, close your eyes. We've got something free for you." And we closed our eyes. When we opened our eyes, we saw, "Oh, WhatsApp free. Oh, Facebook free." No, it was not free. Our freedom is the price that we've had to pay. So ek din kya hua, ma'am, I was sending my song to one of the producer and meri aankh lag gayi. So I slept for a bit, and when I woke up, I realized my phone was resting on my chest. And then I thought, when was the last time when I was reading a book और छाती पे किताब रखी रह गई हो? तो मेरे जहन में कुछ, क्योंकि मैं लिखता हूँ, कंपोज करता हूँ, तो जहन में कुछ लाइनें आई और तुरंत मैंने लिख ली. मैंने लिखा कि बीत गया है एक अरसा, छाती पे रख किताब सोए, तैरती हैं ये मेरी उंगलियां इस फोन पर, खुद से कब जुदा हुआ, ना इल्म है ना शक हुआ, करवटें भी अब मेरी भारी है मेरी नींद पर, मुस्कुराती हैं मेरी स्माइलीज किसी और पर, मुस्कुराती हैं मेरी स्माइलीज किसी और पर, मुस्कुराए हुए अब मुझे अरसा हुआ, फालतू में ढूंढते हैं, सोचते हैं, कोसते हैं, काश मेरा भी कोई अच्छा सा एक दोस्त हो, छोटी सी जिंदगी का छोटा सा एक सार है, गर किताबें हैं करीब तो क्यों करीब कोई और हो, जा जरा आजाद कर खुद को अपने जाल से, दे बदल हर शाम अपनी फोन को किताब से. The best part of learning is that no one can take it away from you, and because we have very little time at the moment, that is something I'm going to emphasize tomorrow in my motivational musical. And as you requested me you ordered me to sing a song, I'm doing it right away, ma'am. I'm going to mix the Teachers Day song as well, because 5th of September is approaching, and we also need to understand the value of teachers. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara. Your teachers are not just your teachers, they are your second set of parents. So मैं दोनों गानों को mix करके I'm paying a tribute to the teachers and to books. आज हमने दिल का हर किस्सा तमाम कर दिया, खुद भी पागल हो गए, तुमको भी पागल कर दिया, सा सा ओ सा, we love you, ma'am, ma'am, oh ma'am, we love you, तुम भी चलो हम भी चले, चलती रहे जिंदगी, ना जमीन मंजिल ना आसमां, जिंदगी है जिंदगी, चलता रहे लिट फेस्ट. Congratulations, Euroschool North Campus, छाया रहे आपका festival.
Thank you so much, Paddy. That was a lovely presentation. Thank you. We'll now move to the vote of thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. May I request our senior coordinator, Ms. Lakshmi Priya, to please present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Soumya. Gratitude is when memory is stored in the heart and not in the mind. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. A warm and happy morning to one and all present here. As we have come to the end of the much-awaited inauguration ceremony of the E-Lit Fest Bell-Let version 2.0, I, on behalf of the principal, staff, and students of Euroschool North Campus, take this opportunity to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our group CEO, Mr. Prajod Rajan, Mr. Rahul Deshpande, CEO, K-12 Schools, Ms. Anuba Kini, Chief Human Resources Officer, Ms. Kavita Chopra, Head Operations, all other dignitaries and special invitees who have graced this wonderful occasion with their august presence. We are extremely delighted and honored to have shared the platform with our top management and the lead professionals. We are sure that the presence of such inspiring leaders amongst us on this memorable day has set the stage right for the 2-day extravaganza that's awaiting to be unfolded with a plethora of competitions and events like author talk, theatre workshop, book review and literary criticism, motivational musical, virtual tour of France, just to name a few. We earnestly hope that each and every one will relish every bit of the mesmerizing and marvelous fragments displayed and will take back with you a galore of fascinating memories to cherish for a lifetime. Once again, I express our sincere gratitude to each and every one who has graced this auspicious occasion. Thank you. Over to you, Soumya.
Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. What we are totally Thank you. What we are totally dependent on is our identity. And our identity depends on our motherland. So, to show respect and dignity towards our nation, let's rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
All good things come to an end is what we usually hear. However, let me assure you that this is only the beginning of the jollification of literature. We will see you again tomorrow when we go live with our felicitation ceremony. Thanks everyone for joining us today.